Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series X-Men 20th Anniversary Deadpool 2 Walmart exclusive cable figure. That was a whole lot to get through. So first I want to say thank you to my good buddy Quinn over at Spooky Barn Toys in Canada. Link in the video description below. For all your action figure and collectible needs, head over to spookybarntoys.com. They are based in Canada, so if you're in Canada, go to them for all your action figure needs. They also ship to the US, so check them out. Link in the video description below. But anyway, my good buddy Quinn, he found this up in his local Walmart in Canada, picked it up for me and shipped it out, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited to have this. Now, if only I could get that damn Deadpool and Negasonic Teenage Warhead 2-pack, then I can complete them all. But here we have Cable. I already reviewed a Domino, so we have the second figure from that movie, and really excited. So packaging looks awesome. We get the crossed out, and it says 14 plus there. The Nathan Summers gets crossed out. We get Cable. We get a little Deadpool sticker there. That looks awesome. We get the silhouette of Cable, which is the same as on the back of the package, which is awesome. Again, scribbled and then written in Cable, so that is really cool. So without further ado, let's open it up, get Cable out of the box. Okay, and out of the package here we have Josh Brolin, but that's not actually Cable. That is Thanos, who he does play in the MCU, but in Deadpool 2, he played Cable. So there is the figure. Let's get in close and take a look at all his accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. Okay, and here's the Josh Brolin figure out of the package, but this is the Thanos figure because we know that Josh Brolin portrays Cable in Deadpool 2, and he also is Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So there is the Cable figure out of the package, but enough of that. Let's get in close and take a look at his pretty cool accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure, which lots of good, but definitely some bad. So let's zoom in. Okay, so here's a close-up look at Cable, but we're actually going to look at his accessories first before we take a better look at the figure. So what I first tried to do is see if he can have all his weapon storage on him, and sadly he does not. So the gun, his main weapon, in the movie, throughout the movie, he has it on his back over, you know, his cape thing that he wears, but there is no way to store it on there, which would have been really cool if he could, but he can store a couple of things. So I'm just going to get that cape out of the way because it just seems like it's always in the way. Now this is an attachment piece, some kind of barrel of some sort that attaches to his gun. The problem is I don't know exactly what it is for, because I don't really recall it ever being in the movie, you know, his weapon being modular, unless I missed it. I tried watching back some of the scenes and I didn't really see, but there's this hook right here, and the way his bulletproof vest piece, there's this little peg that kind of sticks out. It's right here, there's right here, and then on the back also. Now it probably doesn't mean anything, but with that little hook, it can hook onto his chest like so. I'm sure it's not meant or designed to do that, but I did it anyway, so that actually kind of works out, and I'll show you how that works with the gun here shortly. We have the grenade launcher right here, which holsters in, so we can remove that. It fits in there nice and snug, so it's not really going to go anywhere. So these grenades that he has up here on his shoulder strap, that's what he would use with this grenade launcher here. And this is, you know, a short barrel. It's sculpted nicely, as you can see there. It does have a hole in there, and for whatever reason here on the back of the handle, there's also a big hole. You can't use that anywhere for the figure or anything, but it is there. I'm not sure exactly why, but it's there. And then he does have a holster for the pistol that he comes with. So this is just a small black pistol. It's sculpted nicely, and it is a very realistic looking gun. So it fits right in the holster nice and snug. The teddy bear, his daughter's teddy bear, is not removable from his belt, so that's unfortunate. And he has the cape, of course. I'll put that back in. On the figure, you'll see he has two open hands. Out in the package, he also comes with an additional set of fists. So he can have two fists, or he can have the open hands that are currently on the figure when you remove it from the package. Now, taking a better look at his gun, you can see here it's done quite nice. It's mainly all in black plastic, and then for the handle right here we get some brown and kind of this grayish green strap around it there. Sculpting of it looks very nice. It looks like there's a whole lot of things going on with it. So you can see there the scope and everything. It looks quite nice. Now the modular portion of it, so earlier that little piece right here, you can actually peg it on there. So you see that opening right there? It pegs right onto the weapon like so. Now, I'm not sure exactly why, but it does port on there. Maybe if he uses it as a grenade launcher type thing in addition with the gun, I'm not really sure. But this grenade launcher actually ports on there as well. So I'm not really sure now, to be honest with you. It's a great idea, it's cool, but I'm still very confused because I tried watching back some of the scenes that he was in, and I just didn't see it in the movie unless I just completely missed it. But it is a nice concept that they actually have that there. But looking at the figure, there's a couple of things. So the figure itself looks good overall, but I definitely have some issues now. Shartimus Prime, he already reviewed his. I didn't review it, but I had seen on Instagram he did some kind of crazy like neck dance, because that is a definite issue, and that's going to be more so in the articulation, but the way it sits on the neck is crazy. This cape, as cool as it is, it just really gets in the way. It's a floating piece, it doesn't port on anywhere, so it's just always loose fitting and just kind of gets in everywhere, so I just kind of like to take it off. But when you take it off, it's very noticeable how small his torso is width-wise. It's just extremely narrow. If you look at his legs, right, he's got some bulky looking legs, but then his torso is tiny. Now, it's completely covered up with this vest portion, but looking through the vest, you could see that the torso that they gave him is just really, 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 really small. I mean, small. But there are some nice details throughout the figure. So looking at his neck, we actually get some silver paint right there in his skin, because that's where the technovirus is kind of taken over. You know, it's got his arm, so there in the neck. So we get some nice silver paint there in the neck. In the arm, we get some silver paint here for these coil pieces, and then the rest is just kind of done in a dark, flat gunmetal gray. But then on the inside, we get what my buddy Quinn called the Ultron treatment, to where one side is painted, so silver, not silver, silver, not silver, and you can see right down the bicep right there in the middle. Is where they cut it off and just didn't bother painting it here. So pretty lazy on Hasbro's part. You know, these figures are in an anniversary line, which means the premium pricing. So the $25 price tag, I mean, I get that we're getting all new sculpts, sure, but come on, a little bit of silver paint there would have made the figure a lot better. That definitely would have gone a long way. I mean, because it's very noticeable that the cut is right there in front. So when you're looking at it, silver into no paint. So that is just really unfortunate. Looking at the rest of the figure, he just has gray pants, brown boots, and all that looks pretty good. The teddy bear looks really good. And we don't have pinless joints on this figure at all. So we got the pins on his elbows, we got the pins on his knees. But, you know, it's a dedicated new sculpt, so, I mean, I guess I get it a little bit, but I mean, even still, but damn, what is up with that neck? Look, I mean, even on the back, it doesn't even, his head doesn't even go all the way down onto that neck. So that damn dumbbell joint that Hasbro's been using. So it's unfortunate, but let's see what articulation he has. I can tell you it's going to be pretty limited, but let's take a look. Okay, so articulation for Cable. So the dumbbell joint on the neck, it doesn't really get him to look down a whole lot. He does some, but you get that huge gap in the back. Looking up is actually pretty good compared, since it sits so much higher on there than it really should. So I guess we get that added benefit, but then you get some stupid looking pivot, and then you can just like put his neck completely off to the side. So it's pretty crazy. Of course, full rotation in there as well. And I forgot to mention this earlier, we get a nice wash or shading in his hair to really kind of give it that gray look. So that is pretty cool. Looking at the arms, his arm can go up this high on that Techno arm. The other arm can go up a little bit higher, and that's due to this. You got to get this sculpted shoulder pad that's in there. But the way the joint is on the torso, it's open enough to where you can fit that in there, but it just doesn't go up any higher than that. You get a full rotation, of course. There is an upper bicep swivel. You get a double jointed elbow like so. Same on the regular arm, double jointed elbow. The wrists do swivel, and you have the vertical hinge, which is great for with weapons. The fists have the horizontal hinges. So you guys know there is an ab crunch in there, so you're not going to really get a whole lot of movement out of it, but that was pretty much it. You can do that, you can do that. The vest is on there. It's not clipped on there. You'd have to cut it off if you wanted to remove it, but that's really stopping the movement in that torso. There is a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. Can't get forward very high, so that is great. It actually goes back quite a bit as well. There is an upper thigh cut in there. You get a double jointed knee like so. boot doesn't really want to swivel. So there is a boot cut, so that one swivels no problem, but my left doesn't want to swivel, and you see that it just goes right on back to the point that it was. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but should swivel. But the foot hinges down, get some hinge up, not a whole lot, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So I think the figure looks good. The torso is narrow, and you don't get to use the ab crunch, unfortunately, but the rest of it, you know, the articulation is decent. Can't really complain, because it's all there. Even with like G.I. Joes, you know, the Cobra Troopers, Beachhead, they're all wearing those vests, so you can't work the ab crunch, but it's there. So there's his articulation. Okay, here's a quick side-by-side of the two Thanos figures from Endgame and Infinity War, all played by Josh Brolin, with Cable right there in the middle. Okay, and so here is our comic Cable comparison. So we have the Deadpool Wave Sasquatch Build-A-Figure Cable, we have the Juggernaut Wave Cable, we have the Age of Apocalypse Nate Gray, which is essentially that universe's, that reality's Cable, and then we have, of course, the Deadpool 2 movie Cable. Okay, and here is Cable next to Domino from the same movie, and then as a stand-in, there is the Juggernaut Wave Deadpool. I do not have that 2-pack with Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Hopefully soon. I have no idea. I have a pre-order with Entertainment Earth and Amazon. It's a race to see who's going to get it first. I have no idea. We shall see, but I can't wait to add Deadpool in here, and I guess Negasonic Teenage Warhead, to round out the Deadpool 2 movie figures. If only we could get a Colossus. Sadly, it's not happening. Not this year. Who knows? Maybe they'll release one in a later wave down the line. We really don't know, but it's definitely not happening this year, unless during Hasbro Pulse Con they throw out some kind of swerve and say, hey, by the way, we're going to give you a Colossus. But I just don't see that happening, but would be awesome if they did. Okay, so my final thoughts on this figure. Aesthetically, the figure looks good from a distance, but when you get in closer, you can kind of see some of the flaws that are going with it, like the narrow torso. So that green cape that he has really helps to hide that, and really helps to hide that janky-ass neck dumbbell thing that he has going on, because it's bad. It's real bad. But the saving grace of it is just that overall it looks pretty good. The head sculpt, it looks really good. I can actually see Josh Brolin in there. I think they went a little big on his forehead, but I definitely see the resemblance, especially when you do it like at an angle. That is really cool. Some of the details in the sculpt that they did, like the arm is sculpted nicely. It's just that lack of silver paint. It just seems really lazy. When they gave us great silver paint on his neck, we get nice copper paint there for the grenades. It's just, damn it, a little bit more on the arm would have just gone a really, really long way. But otherwise, the head sculpt is probably the best feature of the figure, because it just looks really good. You get the little painted detail of the scars and everything. It just looks really nice. So kudos there. It's a Walmart exclusive. It's starting to pop up everywhere. I don't know how long it'll last. We know with Walmart exclusives, it's very hit or miss on if the stores will get restocks, just because for whatever reason, Walmart's terrible when it comes to exclusives. I don't know what it is. People just buy them up like crazy, or I don't even know. Now, initially, online pre-orders actually had this shipping out in October, with the Venomized Captain America coming early September. I highly doubt the Venomized Captain America figure is going to be arriving soon. My pre-order says I'm going to get it September 3rd. I don't plan on that happening. I still have my pre-order for this guy, just in case any one of my friends is going to need one. You know, I don't plan on canceling it now, but I know my local Walmart has already gotten these, and I think have already sold out. So, you know, be on the lookout there. So, again, thank you to Quinn up in Canada with Spooky Barn Toys for picking this up for me and shipping it out my way. If you're looking to get any action figures or collectibles, head over to spookybarntoys.com. If you're in Canada, if you're here in the US, they do ship to the US, so be aware of that. Check them out. Link in the video description below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.